Yes, we are good whenever you're ready.
Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome to Cast Co-op, the podcast in which three podcast hosts cast together. I am one of your hosts, Luke Lore, the insipid ghost, and host of the Xbox Expansion Pass, bringing you news and interviews from around the gaming industry, joined by two of my good friends.
Are you plugging right in the intro?
Right in the intro.
I was testing it out. That sounded so good.
This is how
that was
desperate
so
he is.
good.
What is going on?
Why would
right
you
now?
interrupt that? That
Look
was
how
so
desperate.
good.
Oh my god!
Don't do that.
I'm on the
over
side
here.
of our consumers. Okay, I'm
No.
protecting them.
Oh, here at Season Gaming, our review policy is this. We're better.
Have
than
I done
Metacritic.
that on this show? No.
Yes, every episode. And Joe over here, please rate us 5 stars. It's really good for SEO.
It helps.
Meanwhile, I can't pitch a 30-second hello. Please
Not
go
in the
check me out.
intro. You know, break it in a bit.
These are the people I'm talking to. By the end, they're out. They know what they're out of.
10 minutes in, they're gone. You got to get them fresh.
10 minutes in, Ains is sipping that whiskey, and they're like, well, we're done in 20.
Hey, it is showcase day, boys. Showcase
Ooh, it
day.
is
We've
showcase
got
day.
scotch for the occasion. Let's go.
Ice water. Cheers, boys. Cheers. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
I got a
Joined by my big brother and yours, the name that will never go away if he interrupts me ever again, Mr. Ainsley Bowden of Seasoned Gaming, which he will plug at least 6 times this episode.
What's going on? I'm ready to talk some PlayStation. I'm ready to talk Halo Infinite. Coming back in 2 weeks, boys. Coming back.
No one's thinking about Halo Infinite.
I am.
We just had the PlayStation showcase.
I know. The show's going to be about PlayStation, of course, but I want to talk that Halo Infinite. We have a date. It's coming.
Okay. All right. I'm
See,
excited.
you're just not up to date. It's fine. Don't worry about
Okay,
it. I got you
that's
covered.
fair.
I'm drinking scotch. We're good to go. Let's talk.
We're good. It puts hair on your chest, not your
Oh,
head.
and visit seasongaming.com whenever you get a moment. Thank you.
Are you plugging in the middle of it? Mr. Badbit, host of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, joining us as well. If I had to guess, you're on a high, but I don't know that because we've not actually had a chance to talk about it just yet. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, and you did the plug-in for me. Look at that.
Hey, man, I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
Friendship. I'm excited to talk because we're all going to have a lot of things to say and a lot of opinions that may be different from one another, and that's going to be fantastic.
So what we are alluding to, everyone, is the PlayStation Showcase for 2021, and a lot of opinions, a lot of takes, all of them likely coming from a good place because there was a lot of different news throughout this showcase, a range of possible release dates for some games, a range of quality in some of those games, and I will start off by saying, having just watched it fresh off, it's been a few hours since the actual thing. I watched the replay.
Me too.
And consuming kind of the social spaces and getting to hear a few other reactions, it feels to me like PlayStation did a darn good job with this thing, all things considered. I feel like they had a good showcase and people are vibing good vibes, which is what you want after a showcase. Where do you stand on this one? Joe, start with you for this one.
Right, because I'm the host of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. See that plug? See that plug? How subtle.
That's was PlayStation Trophy Room, right?
No. Trophy Room first.
A podcast. Okay, got it.
This was a good, not great show.
Yep.
That's right. They just good. Like, I actually came out going, that was a 6 in the beginning.
6?
Yeah, out of it going, oh, there was...
This is why
moments.
I like Joe. Because he keeps it real.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't know. I've seen a few of his show titles. They're in all caps, and he's got reactions. I don't know.
What's Jim Lion Ryan up to?
We made that joke on stream.
Nice.
Anyway,
No,
sorry, Joe. Go.
Honest to God, like my immediate reaction was like, 6. But after talking to Kyle about it and really breaking it down step by step, which you could check out this episode of AS5 Stars.
Are you really plugging in the show?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I said intro.
I came out thinking that this was about a 7.5. Like,
Okay.
this was just a solid, good show. Which, again, I will break it down as we go. But I think there's a lot of, some amazing moments in here, lack of the pun. But a lot of it felt like filler. and retreading where we really didn't have to. Cough, cough, GTA 5, cough, cough, Deathloop. You sold me. You showed me at least 20 minutes of this game. You don't need to show me anymore. And even in that trailer, I feel like they gave away some things. So, there were some really cool announcements, which we'll talk about. But I think they're they're overshadowed by a lot of lulls.
I would flip that. I would say the highs allowed us to ignore much of the lull, many of the lulls, because there were plenty, but the highs took us so high that we as gamers will think back and think very positively on it. Because I agree with your logic on the 6, but I don't think it felt like a 6. And I would think that in a similar Xbox showcase not even a month ago, better announcements as a standard, but not nearly as high of highs.
Yes, and I think in terms of like, there was a part in the show where Con and I literally turned to each other and went, "Where's the PlayStation first party?"
I did the exact same thing. I was
And
watching
that's
by
when
myself,
Herman came
but
in. Yeah, and that's when Herman came in. He's like, "Hello, everybody! Look at my jawline." And I'm like, "Hey, Herman, I get it. You're talking."
We all paused it and looked.
I know. I was just like, "Whoa, that's what a man can."
He's a
look
good
like.
dude. He's a good dude.
And then first party stuff happened, but even then, I would have liked, I don't know, 1 or 2 more things, because it very much feels like Insomniac is. We're seeing the memes already. Insomniac is carrying PlayStation.
There's Insomniac and there's PlayStation. Apparently, they're two different things at this point.
And we even made
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica was there.
Yeah, but it's a known quantity. We knew God of War was coming. We knew what it was going to look like, and it's not that it disappointed, but it did what you expected.
Yeah,
it's the adage: Gears, Forza, Halo. Now we've got Insomniac, Santa Monica, and
you've got God of War, Gran Turismo, and Spider-Man.
Yep. Horizon's in there.
Yeah, they weren't there today, but that's fine. But
and how quickly we are quick to in this conversation forget Last of Us, which it wasn't in the showcase, but it's a pillar franchise, but it's because they're beating it to death already.
Yeah.
So I'm with a golf club. No.
I'm almost identical to Joe on this. I had to watch it afterwards. To your point, I only watched it a couple hours ago and caught up. Watched it by myself. It was funny. I had a meeting for work I couldn't get out of or move. Right, so I literally shut everything down. I turned my phone off, turned my computer off, and I was like, nobody is reaching me until I can watch this for myself. No
one was going to call him anyway.
Yeah, I set up, got a drink, sat down, watched the whole showcase. And we'll talk about specifics, right? But obviously, Knights of the Old Republic out of the gate, I am one of the greatest games ever made. It's incredible. So that immediately I was like, holy shit, if they're starting with that, this is going to be something.
Yeah.
But then we had 30 minutes straight, to Joe's point, of just third party, already known stuff we've seen a billion times. And I was like, what the hell happened here? Where is everything we were hoping to see? Then they ended on a higher note. I would say a nice high note, but to Joe's point, there was nothing that really surprised. We knew God of War was coming. We got more Spider-Man, Wolverine, fantastic.
That's a surprise, man.
Yeah, that's a surprise, but who knows when the hell it's coming and what it's going to look like. But anyway, there wasn't people were hoping for returns of big PlayStation IPs. Many of us, right? Resistance, Twisted Metal.
Siphon Filter,
anything right from their catalog. We were hoping for Last of Us Factions or some multiplayer components that they're working on. None of that. It was just the known stuff really that really carried it at the end. Gran Turismo looks great. We'll talk about it. But so I said a 7. That's what I said for the show. Good show. Not fantastic. Didn't blow me away.
I landed, if I had to rate, 7.5 was where I landed, because the highs took me so high. Now, I also come into it with the idea that I'm used to PlayStation shows not selling me on that year, but selling me for years down the road. And I tweeted and I stand by the idea that if you love superheroes, as I do, you must have a PlayStation 5.
I like how he copied my tweet.
Shut up. Did you tweet that really?
I said something similar. I said kind of, there was a lot of lulls, but there was some good stuff nonetheless. If you like superhero games, the console to own is PlayStation.
Oh, okay. I did not see that, but I mean, I said it better and more succinctly.
That's all right,
so.
Philip. Carry on.
I don't see anyone could deny that, really. I mean, Spider-Man, like, I'm not a superhero guy, as you guys know. But Spider-Man is revered, right? And there's plenty of good quantity there. Now with Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine from Insomniac, like, come on, how can you miss that?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Avengers is so mediocre.
Stop. Yeah, well,
It's so mediocre.
say,
You know?
don't start plugging Avengers on here now.
I'm not. I mean, I love it, but it's very mediocre, especially next to Insomniac's work. That I tweeted, Insomniac do what Crystal Dynamics don't. And really, that's the Square problem, not a Crystal Dynamics problem. Square is the worst. They're just bad. Look at that Guardians game. Ugh. But when you look at the quality of game that Insomniac produces, with a teaser of literally it says no gameplay for Wolverine, and we're all excited, that's telling of the studio's quality.
Yeah.
You know? And Spider-Man looks to be doing the Gotham Knights co-op thing. That's the implication that we are left to infer after kind of seeing Miles and Peter there with Venom. And I don't know whose voice that is. I'm very curious to know whose voice that is.
Apparently it's the original Candyman.
Oh,
No.
He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I didn't mean he is a great actor. I didn't mean like the actor's voice. I mean, who's talking? Because it doesn't sound like that's Venom talking in that moment. It sounded like somebody else was going to challenge Venom or something like that. The way I heard
think
the
Venom
trailer.
was challenging Craven. That's what I interpreted.
Craven. No. That is what I thought. I couldn't tell who the Craven voice was.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, who wants challenged is here? But that makes perfect sense that Venom would do it.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Who's Craven?
Oh, fuck.
Honest. Well, not a matter. All right.
In all seriousness, my experience with Spider-Man as a human being is the animated cartoon from the 80s. That's what I remember.
The 80s, not the 90s version.
No. The animated Amazing Spider-Man from the 80s as a kid that I loved. I haven't been into Spider-Man since then, so yeah, I'm very high level.
Yeah, we are different people. Well, to say nothing else, those games are great, Haynes.
Yes.
So I think you could have some fun with those. If you like Infamous,
I own Spider-Man. I've played it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good
an easy
game.
flat,
It's
fun
just
game.
not for me. That's all. But it's a good game.
Well, so we kind of skipped into this, but with Insomniac showing a Wolverine game, that's a big surprise. With it being exclusive, that's a big surprise to me.
Game's gonna
Is this
sell like bonkers.
It's going to sell like crazy, but I'm surprised Marvel would allow it. However, Insomniac is proving they can do better work with an IP than Crystal Dynamics can on multiple platforms. And so it makes sense that they would do it. Wolverine for 2020. Go ahead.
Sorry, Luke. I thought you were cutting there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Just the idea of it also looks like Insomniac is building its own Marvelverse.
Yes.
And that is very exciting to me.
Yes.
Very exciting to me. Sad it's exclusive because I don't like for big third-party properties to be exclusive anywhere. Yeah. But I'm Insomniac can make it and I'll go there.
Yeah. I mean, let's first start with Insomniac. What wizardry. Honestly, I said this on the stream. It's like PlayStation or Sony bought this company for $200 million. Well spent, because they have the output of what seems like to be half of Bethesda. Like, it's just, it's crazy. You talk about in the span of a few years, you got Spider-Man, of course, the Spider-Man remaster, Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, and then in 2 years from now, you're getting Spider-Man 2.
Bitch, we got Skyrim coming.
I was gonna say, yeah. Saying Insomniac's half of Bethesda is a stretch, but yes,
I'm just saying
they're punching above their weight
so much.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they can do with Wolverine, because for me as a kid, Ains, it was Spider-Man and the X-Men show.
Yeah, but we're 20 years apart. So.
But like in the 90s, because I was a child in the 90s.
I know. The Spider-Man in the 90s is good. I remember it. X-Men show of the 90s was awesome.
Yeah. And for me, I'm like, oh my God, I ran downstairs to show my brother. I was like, Dan, look, just don't look at anything else. Just see this. This showcase was made for like people like my brother who are super casual, but are into superhero stuff and Star Wars. Because I showed him Old Republic and he he lost his mind. He's like, "This is PlayStation only." I go, "No, timed exclusives on Xbox." Like, whatever. Okay, I'm buying it here. Like, really,
Yeah.
he is
Supposedly
Yeah.
PS5 and PC for those listening.
Did anybody get a red
Yeah,
flag
I'll come to Xbox.
for Knights
Yeah,
of the
I-
Old Republic?
Anyone get a red flag?
Yeah, because I never
Mm.
played KOTOR. I hear all about the quality. They don't age as well to go back to, unfortunately, but there's so much quality there, and I love Star Wars. But I didn't have an Xbox at the time. I didn't have an Xbox original.
I know. No, I'm just giving you shit.
But Asper Media is not known for quality. They're just not. And they've
So-
even go ahead.
No, it's funny you say that because KOTOR is so for those in all seriousness, because KOTOR is nearly 20 years old, right? For people who didn't play it at the time when it released, it was BioWare at their prime.
Mhm.
I mean, they're their AAA team in RPG development. Many of us agreed at the time that it was literally the best Star Wars story outside of the original trilogy. It was
Still
that good. Yeah, it's that good.
revered.
To your point, my stepson is a gigantic fan of it as well. He came home from work, didn't know this was going on, doesn't have a PlayStation. And I was like, dude, there's two things you got to see. Now, he's a Borderlands nut, so I showed him Tiny Tina's thing. But I was like, look, KOTOR is actually coming back. And I showed it to him, just that simple 30-second thing, and he lost his mind. And I was like, but it's not coming to Xbox. He's like, what? And I was like, it is coming to PC too. He's like, okay, I can still play it. But he lost his mind knowing this. But I said the same thing to him, Luke, is the only thing that worries me, BioWare's not involved and Obsidian's not involved. And Asper Media is not BioWare or Obsidian. So I am concerned, but they do already have the foundation to build upon, right? So you hope.
Did it say it's a remake, not a remaster?
Remake.
Yee, that worries me.
Because the one thing they said was along the lines of, we understand this is a huge undertaking. I think what they said is along the lines of, we're not meddling with the story as much as we're going to tune up the combat.
Okay.
You know, in the
Not meddling with the story much. You don't need to meddle with it at all.
Because honestly, even Star Wars lore nuts rip from Old Republic all the time, as Luke and I will know. So it means a lot to us, and that's why anybody that's taking this has to understand that it's a daunting task.
This is literally my original copy, and it's damn near mint. That I've had for nearly 20 years. The spine's not even fully bent. Yeah, man. That game is a legend.
I'll tell you right now, I feel like it gives me vibes of a studio taking on a franchise it can't handle, which we've mentioned Crystal Dynamics a few times, but I mentioned it, but it gives me a little worry there. That said, if it's a chance to bring it back and they hit it out of the park, bravo. Because I want to play that game. I tried to go back and play it, and it was just too much of a chore.
It's dated. Yeah. It's
very dated. Yeah. And nothing wrong with that, right? But that trailer did get me hyped, for sure. I like that with this trailer and with Alan Wake, those are two Xbox, understood to be Xbox games, right? Alan Wake is synonymous with Xbox, and Knights of the Republic is as well. Those landed in a PlayStation showcase. That's a smart PR move, I think, to do that. And they even had that wording in the Alan Wake reveal, which we knew about, unfortunately, due to leaks.
I think that would have been a way bigger pop if that was just there.
Yeah.
I think it's those were smart little jabs, if you can consider them that. Very, very smart placement by Sony for sure.
Big time. But there was that lull where suddenly the Japanese pop music started going, and I'm seeing characters. I'm like, I don't know who that is, and this is weird. But I'm sure there were people out there that were losing their minds for some of the stuff that we saw.
So at the beginning of the showcase, at least when I watched it back on YouTube, the start of the showcase was the PlayStation ad, "The play has no limits," with the car chases and playing chess and all that. Did you guys see that as well?
Yeah,
yes,
that was bad.
I love that. I love that version of Blue Monday, that song. But
The song's a classic, yeah.
But why was that in there?
I don't know. The only thing I thought as soon as I was watching, and obviously I'm probably reading into this too much, but I'm like, this is one of those very stylistic PlayStation ads, which they do very well typically. But why are they playing chess? Is this like a comment around, playing chess in the industry and saying PlayStation's, going to capture the crown? That's what it would look like,
Sony's playing checkers. Microsoft's playing chess.
You know what? There
What's
were a
happening?
lot in this showcase. When you look at the whole thing, seriously though, for a second, if we can be serious for a second, there were a ton of colors. There were a ton of colors across
How
the
much
whole
culture was
showcase.
it? How much culture was in there?
Well, Project Eve popped out with some culture, and then Forspoken. Had some culture.
Radiohead is being honored.
It was crazy. I will say right now, Forspoken,
Yeah.
that could not have hit softer for me.
Me too. It ruined it for me.
Oh,
Amy
really?
Hennig, Gary Whitta, bunch of other people that are probably amazing. I could not have cared less about Forspoken.
Really? I thought it would look kind of cool.
What it didn't to me, it just fell so flat. But I want to know why it fell flat. Like, what am I missing? Because those names I revered.
I thought the voiceover was really, I hate the word, but like cringy. Like it tried to be hip while it just came off as really corny in my mind. But
Really, because I thought it landed for me. I was like, oh yeah, this is how I would react if I saw a goddamn dragon. Some
of the gameplay looks really good, but then other moments looked really kind of mediocre, and I was like,
Yes.
this is really mixed.
So like to me, the combat actually looked a little bit like, Final Fantasy 15, but there were certain elements I was like, oh, this kind of looks like the service weapon from Control, like the movement and such. Like I actually came out digging that more after watching it. It was.
We're talking about Forspoken right now?
got me. Yeah, I think that trailer sold me more than
Than
the
the prior.
last one did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through all the list of games. I literally
I
take
have the
notes
list
when I
right
watch
here.
these things. Yeah,
And you can find the list on seasongaming.com.
you actually can. Yes.
Send
I
me,
know,
send me
thank
my
you.
check.
Hey, how did
Send
you
me my
guys
check.
like Project Eve? That was right after Knights of the Old Republic, because I kind of dug that as well.
That was where I started to fade.
Oh, really?
Go ahead, Luke.
No, you go ahead. I've jumped ahead a few times. You go ahead.
So I was kind of weird. I've said before, I feel a lot of the Japanese stuff is very cliche at this point. It feels like the same themes just tread over and over and over and over again. And it started down that path, but then it started to look a little more like Devil May Cry or a little Souls-ish.
Yes.
Bayonetta.
You and I had the same
And
version.
Bayonetta had some big crazy monsters and some cool combat. I'm like, all right, okay, you're drawing me in a little bit now. So I'm iffy on it. I'm like, okay, I'll need to see more. But it piqued my interest.
Yeah, I thought the same. I was like, okay, sexy lady wearing spandex, big sword, fighting things.
Very Japanese,
DMC.
right out the gate.
it's right out the gate. And I was just like, yeah, I think this could be the one, because Japanese developed games usually aren't my jam, and that one actually looked really good. I was excited for it.
Everything in there looks like it's high quality. None of it looks like something that interests my personal tastes, but it all looks very high quality. And I don't know how anybody could complain about the artwork or the design, because it's detailed as can be.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these monsters, man. It's nuts.
He's looking at the girl. Rainbow Six was it Extraction? Can we please stop seeing this
Rainbow
game?
Six Forgotten.
Go away.
Nobody wants this.
No,
This-
my son has like 800 hours in Siege, and he's making fun of this game. Like, who's asking for this?
no one.
No one.
Honestly, you could put Rainbow Six Extraction and Metal Gear Survive in front of me right now, and I'd be like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go watch TV.
Is a Kojima joint? Oh, it's not. But it could. Like, Rainbow Six Extraction, like, writing was on the wall. Come on.
That's the problem, right? Like, we talk about the middle. What Joe and I were talking about. You went Rainbow Six Extraction. Ghostwire Tokyo does not look good, guys.
It does.
Right?
It's like a PS4 game at best.
What are we
Okay.
doing?
Real talk. I literally said this, I think in the stream, I was like, how did this get off the cutting room floor? This looks legitimately terrible.
And it's Shinji Mikami. Like, or
That's
no?
why.
Is it Shinji Mikami? Wait,
No.
am I mixing it up? No,
No,
it is. It's
think
isn't
it
it
is.
Tango?
It's
Yeah,
Tango, but he's not the creative director. He's kind of like he oversees everything. Like, he
Sure,
mentors
okay.
But it's
people.
got his name with it. That's
So
that's
it is
the thing.
Tango though, and Evil Within I really enjoyed, and I'm like, okay, Japanese horror in the city like could be really good, but every time they show it, I'm like, this doesn't look good at all.
No.
It does not look good. This is the second time I've seen it, and both times I'm like, no.
Can I be honest? When I look at a game, no disrespect, Xbox fans. When I see this game, I understand
Here we
why Bethesda looked for a buyer. Because they
Come
were
on
taking
now.
some unnecessary risks.
Come on now.
That
It's
game
not
did
like
work.
It's not like Tango was the premier studio in the bundle.
But I'm
Yeah.
even talking about like things like Arcane. I was just like, which make great games. but
Are you
just
going
did
to talk
not
bad about
sell.
Arcane right now?
But no. I just said that make great games, but just didn't sell. You know, and
All
boring
right.
games like Prey.
I'm backing up a little. I'm back. All right, now you pissed me off.
Again, no disrespect.
no
disrespect. I'm just
but
gonna
your mother.
dump all over this.
I gotta put, as the kids say, the sauce in the shit. You know,
Oh
gotta make it
my
a little
God.
spicy.
I think you mean children.
I'm
Yes,
so
children.
over the sauce. Yeah, right. Knock it off.
But my point was, Ghostwire Tokyo is set after
Yes.
Alan Wake, which we already knew. Now, if that doesn't leak, it's a different announcement, right?
That's a huge announcement.
Sure.
If that doesn't leak.
Yeah.
But then you had Rainbow Six Extraction, GTA 5. Come on, man.
Stop.
Knock it off.
with this.
Just
It got
knock
a
it off.
minute of time. A minute too much. Stop.
Yeah, way too much. And then you went to Guardians of the Galaxy, which again
Not
is
new.
one. No, not new, and it also feels like one. And maybe you guys feel differently, but it feels like one that is like it should be big for some reason, but it looks like it's just going to land on its face.
Yes.
Because it looks like Avengers, but it's the Guardians who are less likable characters. Sorry, that's mainstream media. I don't care if Guardians is your favorite Marvel movie. I mean, the characters are less popular. Good Lord, what is happening out there,
upset.
Joe?
Joe, move your damn car.
Right?
Send your mother out there.
Sorry.
Yeah, Guardians just looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
It looks bad. I'm a superhero guy. I'm gonna play it.
That trailer did way better than the other trailer to me, but yeah, like
That's
I
true.
look at that going, I will buy that on a super sale.
So I told you I rewatched this, not live. I fast forwarded it. I'm like, all right,
Did you really?
Come on, I don't have time for this. And then it went to Vampire Blood Hunt, which is a free-to-play battle royale, which we already knew about.
I'd never heard of it.
That kind of proves the point. It's been announced for a while. It says 2021, but it still has no date in September. And then from there, they went to Deathloop, which we've seen countless. I mean, obviously, it releases in 5 days.
Is the vampire game PlayStation exclusive?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say it's y'all's Crossfire, Joe. It's y'all's Crossfire.
But no,
Crossfire.
it's
Yes.
not exclusive either.
Yes, that's our Crossfire, and I'm willing to say it out loud. That game's our Crossfire. Crossfire is not going to be this thing that's going to.
Man, what a game that could have been over summer.
Sure.
Imagine releasing Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Halo. like, oh man, what a choice.
But anyway, this kind of meat of the sandwich, the PlayStation Showcase sandwich, is what we're talking about, and it felt really flat in my opinion.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you guys though, looking back at this, we skipped over Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I can't remember if you guys are Borderlands fans.
Nope.
I was a Borderlands 2 and 1 fan, and then I
Kyle's a big fan of it, but not me.
Okay.
I can't.
So go ahead.
Well, the humor in 3 was just so bad that I couldn't get to enjoy the gameplay. But maybe I just grew out of it. You know what I mean? I don't mean grow up. I mean, maybe I just grew out of it because it's the same Borderlands humor that we've always had.
It is. It is. And so I agree with you in 3. Some of it fell flat and kind of was like, oh God, now you're just you're trying too hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for fans of this franchise, this looks really good. Obviously, it's using a lot of assets and kind of things from Borderlands 3. But I can tell you, like, my stepson came down. This is the only other thing I showed him from the showcase. And he's a gigantic Borderlands fan. I mean, thousands of hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm going upstairs and ordering the top edition right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I mean, he is pumped, and I'm pretty excited for it as well. It's it's just one of those games that's just goofy fun, right? You jump in with friends, you shoot and loot. This one has magic and dinosaurs and dragons and all kinds of nonsense because it's based on the expansion from Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina. So, if you like over the top kind of shooter looter,
I will try it out eventually because I hear nothing but great things about Tiny Tina's DLC. So
it's the best they've ever
like
made.
That, yeah, if it's like that at that scale and quality, I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah,
hopefully this crossplay.
Borderlands 3 does now. Yeah, because I've played with my friend on PC.
Yeah.
So they paid Sony the money to have crossplay?
No, PlayStation's out of it.
Oh, I thought maybe they.
Sorry, Joe. Yes, I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, so who knows? But anyway, if they are really fun games with friends.
Yeah.
God damn it!
What?
Let's go back and watch the video.
This, like me sitting out in the cold like this.
All right. Oh,
you guys are having fun. Having fun without me.
There was
Uncharted's going to PC.
Yeah, tell me about this Uncharted thing. Because somehow when I was watching it, I must have gone downstairs for water during the Tachia one.
Yeah.
And so as a result, I was trying not to do that. I didn't want to be disrespectful because I didn't see the game. But when I must have gone downstairs and missed this Legacy collection. What is this? Or which games is this?
Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy remastered on the PlayStation 5 and PC.
Was there a need for this, or is this kind of like?
I think this is them saying, making a bold statement that we are going to PC. This is pretty much them, because this is where most casuals are going to get the eyes on, PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So this is telling the casual audience or people outside that yes, our games are going out of the PlayStation ecosystem into PC. Uncharted being one of our biggest, while probably introducing the idea that their multiplayer games are going to also be on PC as well. So
it probably is also great filler while they give Spider-Man and God of War and a few others time. Yes. Like this is what you would have gotten in a year one if COVID hadn't been a thing. Is this kind of stuff, which I'm all right with.
Which honestly, the rumors before the global panorama happened was that Spider-Man was a 2022 title and God of War was a 2022 title as well. And seeing Spider-Man push back to 2023 and seeing God of War push back to 2022, it goes to see that those rumors were right. Like, these games would have been the same year. We would be talking about Spider-Man right now in a bigger way.
Yeah. So many of these big titles, right? I mean, obviously Halo's another one. Elden Ring was supposed to launch the beginning of this year, I mean, last year, excuse me.
A lot of the games would have been for this kind of back half of this year would have been the front end. Yeah. And I mean, it's just, it is on the one hand good because it allows more units to get out there. That's how I'm trying to look at it, right? Because I mean, I'm all about PlayStation 5 today, celebrating
units.
There's a joke there that I'd missed. I don't know that reference, and I feel bad. I feel like I should have had a voice. When I lost it.
It's fine. Back. Next time I'll put it in all caps.
Thank you. I lost whatever point I was making. I saw Joe's face. All right. Somebody
gave him time. We gave him time to take it, and now he won't because he's a coward. But yeah,
I lost what I was saying. I can't remember it.
All right, then we're on to the next one. Wolverine. So this is where I get concerned because honestly, as a PlayStation fan, I was like, "Where's my first party?
Yes,
where's my first party games?
Yeah,
they're supposed to be sprinkled in here." And as I live and breathe, Wolverine shows up. And that's where we start fucking cooking with gas. I was like, this is what I want. This is what the showcase needs to be. Mm-hmm. Now, we've talked at length. This game, it just speaks to the power of Insomniac and the quality. Because we're already going, we just saw Knuckles and Blades. And we're like, this game's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. It
Right?
even says not actual gameplay,
Not
not
actual
an
gameplay.
engine,
And we
not this.
actually don't fucking care.
And
because
Spider-Man
it's a
2 is 2023 at the earliest.
Yes.
Because it might get delayed, right? At the earliest. So where's this game? 2024 at the earliest? I mean, they have multiple teams, of course,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and like which team is working on this?
That's what I was gonna say is you guys were talking about Insomniac kind of punching above their weight, and I absolutely agree. And I'm not trying to say anything against that. But let's realize that there's probably a plan in place, right? Where they've come in, they finished off Ratchet and Clank, which is probably one of their smaller teams. Again, not disparaging the game. The game's amazing. But they've got Spider-Man. Then they do Remastered and Miles Morales, right? Mm-hmm. The foundation's already there for Spider-Man 2. You've got the assets, you've got the engine, you've already worked on PS5, you've done the ray tracing. The foundation's there, right? It makes a lot of sense to give Wolverine to Insomniac because their whole studio can come together and basically work in these in parallel. And because, as you guys said, you're kind of building this Marvel, almost this Marvel universe. Mm-hmm. But I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of shared development across these projects, which that's not meant to be a bad thing. That's a good thing because it creates efficiency in one development and delivery of these games, but it also will make the experiences feel more unified. Not like you're going from Spider-Man to Avengers, to Luke's point, right? It's going to feel like you're going from a quality Marvel game to another quality Marvel game just in a different universe. So I think what they're doing with Insomniac is very smart. I'm a little disappointed only from my perspective because I'm not a superhero guy. So knowing that Insomniac's sitting on things like Resistance is killing me. It's killing me.
I think those will come in time.
But
I think they'll come.
I get it.
No one's asking for them either.
I get it. That's what I mean. I get
Okay.
Wolverine will sell 10 times what of Resistance will sell. So I get it. But it's very smart, and I think it's Insomniac is just they're going to be they already are, but they're going to be a stud for years to come.
The thing that I think excites me the most about this is the fact that like we think of Insomniac and it is like these optimistic tales. It is these like cute, lovable heroes. It is your Peter Parker. That's why like Spider-Man just works so great with Insomniac. Mm-hmm. But we often like ignore how edgy they can be. Like Sunset Overdrive and Resistance as well. Like so they can hit some range, you know? But like that's where Wolverine comes in. It's like it's that side of Insomniac that we often overlook that I think is going to shine here in a really special way. Hopefully, again, we have not seen any games.
I just hope it's a hyper violent game.
Me too.
Because
better be R-rated.
Yeah, Wolverine is a violent character. Spider-Man is not. You know what I mean? Like for all the
he kicks and he
corniness.
punches Luke.
Yeah, Wolverine in that. Remember the really good Wolverine game that had the really bad movie? I mean, he was ripping people apart, ripping bone claws into people. You saw his skin melt off his body. I want that to the nth degree. Insomniac, you know?
Yes.
Like show me the core.
I'm with you because I told you Spider-Man's not my thing, but if this is done in that style where it's kind of open world and you know the story around Wolverine and give me some of that gritty nature, give me a dark story, I'm in.
Yeah. So we saw Spider-Man and Wolverine. I don't have a lot to say that was thrilling about Gran Turismo. I felt like that was another car game.
Ains, I was going to say there's some big stuff in here.
I can talk to this, yeah.
Because the Toyota's in here and Ferrari, and that's a big deal for people, right?
Yeah, those are a big deal. So
this is Ains' superhero because I'm like
this is my superhero genre is Gran Turismo and Forza. So I'll try not to do an Ains 10-minute spiel here.
No, go for it.
Before he's gonna do a 10-minute spiel.
I probably
I'll talk about Halo forever.
Who was it? J-Mo Money. I'll shout out to J-Mo who said anytime Ains says there's a lot to unpack here, he settles in his chair. So with Gran Turismo, there's a lot to unpack here. No, but so for car guys like me, right? Gran Turismo 1 and 2, when they came out on the PS1, we're back 25 years now, I realize. Shut up, Luke. They were like revolutionary, right? I mean, they blew our minds. I still have both my original copies. Gran Turismo then kind of 3 was great. on PS2, 4, and then it just trails off, right? Polyphony Digital just kind of fell off. And Forza took over the scene. So many people like me have been waiting for Gran Turismo to really come back. GT Sport I didn't enjoy it at launch at all. It was very bare bones. It's gotten very good over the past couple years. They've added a lot to it, but you could tell they were just building to what GT7 is going to be. And GT7 looks to take it back to that core full GT experience, which is like an open map, tons of cars, lots of modding, fantastic car models. There's just an awful lot shown in this trailer that looks fantastic. A huge focus on Porsche, which straight to my heart. To your point, Toyota's back, both in Forza and Gran Turismo. Toyota's back, which is great because the new Supra is very beloved. So there's a lot of things that were shown in this trailer, which just looked really, really good. And it's coming March 5th. They didn't actually announce the release date during it. They said it afterwards, which is really weird. But March 5th is when it launches, which means it's 2.5 weeks after Horizon?
Yes.
Which is, I'm in heaven, right? So super excited for this. But this could be the game to bring Gran Turismo, especially considering Forza is a ways out, not Horizon. Motorsport is a ways out. This could be the game to bring Gran Turismo back to that forefront.
Man, imagine being a multi-console guy. You have Forza Horizon.
I don't have to imagine, baby.
My goodness, it's living a dream. Forza Horizon November, Halo December,
Elden
Horizon for Elden Ring in January, Horizon Forbidden West February. No one cares about it, and then Gran Turismo 7. Like, you got 2 great car games, because you have to imagine they're both great in their own right. You got some heavy hitters on the exclusive slate with Halo and Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm the one drinking, right? Okay.
You are. It's been a long day. But that's some heavy hitting stuff there in this window of time. And I don't see it slowing down after this. I do see it diversifying its catalog a bit, but I mean, it's good stuff right there.
And you know what game got more impressions than all of the stuff? Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
Do you think that means PlayStation 7?
I'm sure. Yes, it does. Okay. I'm sure everyone's
I was slacking you off because you made fun of Elden Ring, but whether you like it or not, Elden Ring is going to be
it's going to be big.
A monster of a game.
Yeah. It is. And I hope it shows off these next gen systems, because we need something to do that.
That's the only thing about disappointing about Gran Turismo. If you remember, they announced it with the PS5 as a PS5 exclusive, right? And then they come back several months later and say it's PS4 as well. So
that Jim tap dancing right, I tell you, he's lying about everything.
But why that's a concern for car guys, right? Is what makes a simulation racer really good and long-winded is the calculations they can do behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And we know that the Forza Motorsport reboot is series consoles only.
Oh wow, okay.
So and all of their physics engines are rebuilt from the ground up in Forza. We already know that. So I'm a little concerned, Gran Turismo, but the simulation aspects of sport are really good. So as long as they deliver on kind of the campaign, the world, and cars and everything else, which this trailer looked like, could be really good.
Hey, you guys don't hear my PC right now sounding like a PlayStation 4 Pro.
It sounds like a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, you're taking off.
Okay, cool.
You playing Flight Sim over there?
No. It's rendering something. My apologies.
Oh, it's cool. You're rendering something while we're doing a show. I like that. I appreciate that.
Indeed.
Yeah. Lastly, we saw God of War Ragnarok, the sequel to what I believe is the best game ever made.
Stop it.
Ains, it is, dude. It just is.
Okay.
What tell me one game better than God of War.
Witcher 3. I can do this all night, dude. I can do this all night.
Witcher 3's up there. It's top 5.
Have you finished Witcher 3? No, of course not. Because you always talk about games you never finished.
In its launch year, I finished Witcher 3.
Do you guys hear it now?
No.
All right, excellent. God of War is a masterpiece. And
it is a masterpiece.
Take that back.
I rated it a 10.
Witcher 3 is better than God
Witcher 3 is not better than God of War.
It's one of 2 games we rated a 10 on our site in 5 years.
Witcher 3 decided to do more with less quality. And
dude, I'll take this debate to you. We can make a whole show out of this debate. I will crush you guys to the ground in this debate.
Yeah, you won't, because you're like, I played it for 80 hours and I hated it. And I'll be like, what? That's your logic when you say you don't like games.
All
right.
Who said I didn't like
The
God of
horse
War?
has a name. The horse has a name.
I just said I rated it a 10.
I swear, if he starts talking about Red Dead 2, and you got to brush it to run fast.
Yeah, right.
Red
All
Dead
right,
2 is
calm
better as well.
down
I
there,
can keep going.
Cyberpunk chair. Calm down.
Red Dead 2 is rated better in its year by critics. So, I mean, we can go there too if you want.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A higher rated game,
You know what?
isn't it?
In their maybe in
Crickets.
their
I hear the
dreams.
crickets. I hear the crickets.
Here at Season Gaming, we rate things. high.
No. We're talking about Metacritic,
You
right?
can brush the
Right?
horse.
Yeah.
Ball physics.
God of War 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't
Whatever it was. What,
I'm waiting.
Ains, I don't even know your question, man. I stopped listening.
Red Dead's the higher rated game.
Over what?
God of War.
I don't.
Yeah, see, go
sometimes
ahead,
I
go
just
ahead,
can't. I'm
continue.
not.
The lamestream media. Games? Is that who we're going after? All right.
It sounds like this is pandemic.
Look,
Time.
we only count the real votes around here.
Oh,
all right?
is
right.
it is it because the journos can play it?
God, that's good.
Oh,
Shit, what are we
Get a
talking about?
Salty video incoming. God of War
Yeah.
could do no
God of
wrong. It looks great. The art that's coming out about it looks
It does.
great. It does. I mean, the Fat Thor, but it's like Norse accurate Fat Thor in the best
Yeah.
way. A lot of really cool stuff there. I'm all about God of War, whatever it is. Give it to me.
That trailer shows so much growth of the characters where they've been.
Yes.
Just again, that trailer
Puberty.
alone, like seeing Atreus carry the elk in this trailer in the first God of War,
Yeah.
he couldn't even do it.
Couldn't
And so
even kill
you
it.
see how, you see how hardened Atreus is, and you're seeing now this different rift between Kratos and Atreus, and it's kind of like Atreus is coming to age story. He wants to know where he fits in the world, and Kratos is like, "Listen, we found out a whole bunch of shit about you, kid. Maybe we don't have to fight." Is one of the things Kratos says around those lines, and hearing that from him it's something different. So we're in for a treat, man. I think we're all thinking Kratos is going to die.
Kratos
And the
die.
one thing that they talked about is like, this is the end of the Norse story.
Yeah.
This is no
I missed
trilogy.
that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
This is the end.
This
cap.
is it.
Do you
And
guys really think they'll kill
nuts.
Kratos? Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
With what we know about Atreus, that is the perfect, which I will not spoil. That is the perfect position to jump into, say, Egyptian.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get how you make that transition, but kind of moving into the next generation versus killing off an icon is a whole different conversation.
You can kill him and force ghost him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can keep him in the next game and he's dead. I mean, this whole world exists.
They're gonna Obi-Wan him.
Well, I mean, yeah, the whole thing, like, go
Atreus
across
has
the
a
river.
midichlorian count.
But you mean, like, you could go across the river Styx or
You're
to
right.
the afterlife or whatever realm of
Sure,
whatever
sure,
mythology.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he can be dead and still
Right.
be involved. But they've
Throw me in the trash. Dead, I'm dead.
So funny
Yeah.
enough, I don't know how you guys did if you made predictions, Joe, because I missed your show because I said I couldn't watch this live.
Got them all wrong.
Did you?
Spoiler
Okay.
alert. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I said on XCP, I didn't see a lot happening here. So wing and a miss.
So I'm actually different for once, and I get
Mm.
these wrong all the time. For once, I got this right. I said the show ends on God of War,
Yeah.
and Mo happened to ask me, "What do you think they show?" And I said they're going to show a gameplay trailer where they show the characters just like they did back in 2017 or 16, whenever they showed the reboot. They're going to show Atreus being older and acting like a teenager, and they're going to show some action and combat to kind of get you back into that God of War groove. And I'm shocked that's what they actually showed. So I actually got
Dude.
one right for a change.
Yeah, I actually told Kyle, I was like, if this show ends with God of War, this isn't like the Year of Dreams that we wanted. Or sorry, if this starts with God of War, this is the Year of Dreams that we wanted from PlayStation. If it ends on God of War, this is going to be a little bit more subdued
Okay.
show, and it kind of was to me.
Yeah. I said it starts on new IP, so I'm wondering what my statute of limitations is with in the KOTOR. I don't know if that counts anymore, but I'm taking half credit for it.
You can have half a point, but it's made by Astor Media, so you can have that half point.
A quarter point.
Yeah. Can I tell you, I want to push back on something, Joe, and it's not like you specifically, but we are consistently as gamers in a gaming community asking for this year of dreams approach.
Yeah.
And that is exhausting to me. You know, I'm just so sick of that idea because everybody wants this year of dreams aspect. And if I'm getting a God of War quality game a year or something close to it, that's amazing. To get 2 is incredible. And it looks like we're lining up to have 3 and 4 a year.
Yeah. Starting
next in 2022 of games of that caliber.
And more as time goes on, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I always worry because people are always saying temper your expectations, and then others are losing their minds, right? Tempered expectations should not be the thing that we have to remind ourselves about. If you're seeing 2 or 3 games that are for you, that's awesome. But I mean, like when you look at a game like God of War, that should be a once in a generation game, and it's not anymore. So, but asking, that's fair. You know. And it's just, I just worry about that mentality, I guess, is really where I'm going with it.
I think it feels like expectations keep going up as the quality of delivery gets higher, right? Mm-hmm. Like next year, to your point, there's a million games I could name, but I'm going to name the ones we know overwhelmingly will probably be mind-bending experiences in some way, which is God of War and Horizon, 2 of which are Sony first party because they're their biggest hitters. Mm-hmm. And we know Starfield's coming as well. Mm-hmm. Right away, there's 3 that we already know are coming next year. That's without touching on anything. Oh, and if you're a fan, I'm not as big of a fan, but Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah. So right there, I mean, would be 4 like generational games are coming next year that we already know. Never mind anything else.
Mm-hmm. It's just there's so much to be appreciative for. You know. You know what? What's something else I do want to see is a graphic not made by a fanboy per se for the war's sake, but I would like to see the properties we know that Sony is working on and Xbox is working on kind of lined up, because throw a dartboard at it, you're going to hit a good game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like on the Xbox side, like Fable is one that I'm not into, but everyone's begging for, right? That's one I'm not
super excited for that. Yeah.
And that's one that's not soon. No, that's going to be a while, right? That's one of their 2023 games, at least. And we know the future there. We now know the future of both companies pretty far out in a way that we didn't last gen. And that's cool to me. Like, there's a lot to look forward to.
And I think what's especially promising is that from what we've seen or know, right, the stuff that's coming from PlayStation is different from the stuff that's coming from Xbox. And as a multi-console gamer, that just delights me because it means no matter what, I'm going to get amazing experiences month over month, one way or another.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, no, I was gonna just say to carry on that question, but like you think PlayStation's dead though, right? Like you give it a year.
It's very clear the showcase that they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, like they showed games that I know I'm gonna buy at least 3 or 4 of them, and I just don't think that
it's not enough.
Survive as a company off of just 3 or 4 little games.
If it wasn't at least 10, I mean, if you're not talking double digits out of a single showcase, then you've kind of failed as a company. What are we
even talking about?
Yeah.
I
didn't even get to talk about God of War because we got on an off topic that I said I rated it a 10, and you guys said I don't like God of War.
Yes, you did. You said you nailed your prediction. You described your prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't get to say like
you want to go on a tangent.
How great it looked, basically.
Go for it.
The one thing I loved about this trailer was that they incorporated all of the things, in my opinion, that made the 2018 reboot so special. And Joe, you kind of touched on it, which was the core characters, obviously Kratos and Atreus. Kratos looks like he's maturing even more than what we saw in 2018. And one of the best things about that game was the relationship between the two, and kind of the very similar, in my opinion, although a different dynamic to Ellie and Joel in Last of Us 1, is that the relationship between the two of them really drove that game. And it made you invested as a player. But then you saw Mimir, right? One of the funniest characters from the reboot, which I just loved. And, he had a quip in there. And then you saw, and I'm blanking on the woman's name, the witch. Freya, thank you. You saw her again and, just immediately transforming from the bird and stuff. And my point being is that all of those things we kind of love that they built into the 2018 reboot were all there. And then they showed, obviously, the combat we know is incredible in that game. So the one thing I struggle with, and I told Mo is a gigantic God of War fan. So I was talking to him about it. And he's like, we both agreed. It's like I think people wanted the magic of the 2016 reveal and 2018 game to be relived. And I'm like, you just can't. Because it's impossible, right? That game was a reboot. It hadn't been around for a while. It landed in a way above anyone expected, right? It was just incredible. You can't kind of recreate that same magic. But we still pretty much confidently know, if we're all betting people, that this game is going to be incredible. Yeah. And so anyway, I really liked it. The only thing I was a little weird about, and you guys correct me, is there's no date. I mean, not even like a ballpark.
Yeah, I think they want to play it safe. I think they don't know how long this thing's lasting.
To polish it up.
Yeah, so they're just like, we're not even going to say it.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till Horizon's out. We're going to wait till GT's out. And then we'll murmur something. I
have to think this is their fall next year game, if it can be done in time, right?
Something PlayStation does a good job of is selling you on the future. Yep, and always. They do not. That's just how they operate. And for all their communication issues this year specifically, this is showing promise for the future. And so I do not. If this gets pushed into 2023, I wouldn't be the slightest bit surprised. I also don't think I'd be upset.
Me neither.
Because I know what I know the quality that the first one was. But I agree with you, Ains. Anyone that's wanting to relive that magic of a rebirth, you don't get the magic of a rebirth unless you've gone down first. That's what Halo fans are now hoping to get. That's what Halo fans. Ains, what's wrong?
Did you say go down?
Not on the podcast, you guys.
But really, not on the podcast, guys. You can who later.
Is that a euphemism for something?
It's like a metaphor.
Damn it.
You talk about
Halo.
Halo. I was about to take that way too far.
Yeah. You calm it down there. Halo has been so low, the way God of War Ascension was, that the rebirth means a lot. Come on, man. We got to call a spade a spade. For as good as Halo was during its reach and 4 years, 3, 4 and reach years, depending on who you are, it crashed and burned at 5. Okay, I love 5's multiplayer, and I enjoy a 5 campaign with somebody to chat with, but that's a God of War Ascension level game, and that is what led to this amazing rebirth for God of War, and we're hoping that happens with Halo. It takes that before you can have that magic.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
More or less. That's important. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, so we've kind of covered the whole show. And my question to you guys was going to be, so, I think we all had our expectations going into the show and what we wanted to see. And obviously people take their expectations way too far. But I think one of the disappointing things for me is we've heard Herman talk about, they had like 24 IPs in development. This was earlier this year. Joe, you probably know better than me, but like 24 in development, over half of them were new, right? Like 12 or 13 IPs were new. We know they're also sitting on things now. Resistance, we talked about. Sunset Overdrive, we talked about. Killzone, Killzone. But a lot of other things as well. Twisted Metal being a big one. And we didn't see any of that. And I think what made this show a 7 for me instead of say a 9 or a 10 even is we didn't see any new IPs from first party. I mean, yes, Wolverine, we saw, we've talked about it. We saw a 40-second trailer for a game that's 4 years away. But, we didn't see that. We didn't see any return of these just classic IPs that they're sitting on. And it almost felt like coming out of the Xbox shows leading up to 2020 or 2019 before we saw Fable finally. Right? It's like you guys have been sitting on Fable forever, a Western RPG that's beloved, and you have all this talent now. Why aren't you making it? Finally, they said, we're making it with one of our top teams. It's like, I think that's what people were hoping for here out of PlayStation. We just didn't get that.
Yeah, and that's actually why, Ains, we are exactly the same here. That's why I don't rate it anything higher, because you said all these things, right? Like you said, 25 games, like the Firewalk Studios, not the Fire Sprite one that they just purchased, but Firewalk.
Right.
That game's been in development since 2017, 2018. So it's like, you could show us something. You could show us something.
Last of Us Factions. Like, where is it?
Yeah, what's the holdup? Again, I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. It's just, you said a whole lot of things, so our expectations got out of whack. We constantly hear things, crazy things like SOCOM and such. So we kind of throw these dartboards in the dark, trying to see if we get a bullseye somewhere.
Yeah.
And with the showcase, it's kind of a combo of the two. It's the little rumblings from every other insider out there, or it's, Herman saying, "Hey,
insider."
It's just, that's why it's a little disappointing, because I'm like, you got all these ex-devs, out there. Why not show off one of their games?
Yeah.
Because right now it just feels like, Insomniac is holding up the boat. Now, if I'm a casual fan, do I care about that at all? No, I just saw Wolverine, so I'm good.
Wolverine and Spider-Man will sell more than everything we're talking about.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the thing is, I agree. I'm in there that it's a 7.75, whatever, but it's a high 7.5. Like it's a feel good 7.75. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels good to see this. Yeah,
it's a 7.5 comfort meal. Like that's how I looked at the showcase. It's like what you know and love of present PlayStation, you're getting more of.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
Well, yes, but as the superhero fan, there's something special about seeing Miles and Peter next to each other in a game.
Sure, but I mean, it's more of what you love. You've had Spider-Man from them for 4 years now, or 3 years now.
Yeah, but not together, Ames.
God,
it's the same. It's a buddy cop.
Now Joe can be Miles and I can be Peter.
I get it. Why is he got to be the dark one?
Because he's the dark one.
Damn, Luke.
No, it's that way.
No, it is like that.
It is like that.
Join us next episode for diversity and inclusion training for Luke. All right.
Cheers, guys.
But the funniest thing, I don't know if you guys saw this. Literally today, both Jeff Grubb and Andy Robinson, who's the head of Video Game Chronicle, who is trustworthy. He's a good dude.
Are you still feuding with Jeff Grubb?
Remember
episode 6 where he called him out? Remember that?
No. Here we go. First of all, I'm not well known enough to feud with Jeff Grubb.
No, I think you could do it. I love Jeff Grubb. I think he's great.
Second of all, I have nothing against Jeff Grubb.
No, that's not what you said.
No. I said that someone who bases their entire reputation on leaks is not anyone important to me.
No, Ains, we're gonna punch up for the views here.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you're getting me off traffic. Whatever.
It's so easy.
Motherfucker.
Salty.
Both Grubb and Andy confirmed today that Twisted Metal game is in development.
That's cool.
Show it. If you can show a 40-second CGI trailer for Wolverine, you can show a 40-second CGI trailer for Twisted Metal, for God's sakes.
Yep.
Oh, wait, you guys want them? Those developers are out there crunching as it is, guys.
Crunch harder.
Work harder.
By your families.
But come on, this is what I think Joe and I are alluding to. The hardcore PlayStation fans, they are like rabid for their IPs, right? Twisted Metal is one of those. If you imagine that CGI trailer for Wolverine, right? But it's like dark and gloomy and whatever, right? And it slowly approaches an ice cream truck and Sweet Tooth walks around the corner.
It's literally Twisted Metal Black.
People would be losing their minds, me included. And not that they're not for Wolverine, but why can't you do the same thing for Twisted Metal, especially if you know the game's in development?
They could have Metroid Prime forward it. Well,
even even more
splash
than
screen.
Yeah, I mean, just something. Give us just something. Why do I have to hear on a showcase day from PlayStation that Twisted Metal is in development from a damn leaker?
Fair. Fair. All right. Last thing, boys. Last thing.
Okay.
Inevitably, what's going to happen is we're going to process this information, go through the feeds, and then ask ourselves, in one way or another, with inflammatory verbiage or another, we're going to say, how should or does Xbox respond? And that is the tired argument. What I would ask you is, with both positioned so well for their futures, is there a lesson that one could take from the other about what to do in the coming years in any way, shape, or form? Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Xbox, make those deals.
Yeah.
If you could
Zach,
spend,
which is your season?
just you I hate Aim so much. Seriously, you got to make those deals. You got to shake those hands. You need you dude.
To
they
be
just
clear,
showed
you're talking about like timed exclusive deals.
I'm talking timed exclusive. I'm talking get your hands on a superhero.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get the IP that's going to move. Look, the reason why Twisted Metal didn't get a CGI trailer, but Wolverine did, is because Wolverine's going to just
Of course.
eviscerate whatever sales these games are going to get. You need one of those games.
Can I tell you an IP they should do that
How,
with?
how have they
Go for
not
it.
grabbed Batman yet?
Warner Brothers and
It doesn't matter.
Well, Warner Brothers is for sale. Remember,
This is-
Yours told me.
But this
Warner
is
Brothers-
this is Microsoft, man. How have you not grabbed Batman?
I'm with you, but can I tell you an IP within Warner Bros. They absolutely should get, and you can probably figure it out. What's something that would sell, is well known.
Harry Potter.
All right, that's a good answer. I don't give. I couldn't care less about that stupid four-eyed dork.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm drinking. I'm interrupting you. I apologize.
No, it's good. I mean, that really would be a good grab for them. Although I could not care less about Harry Potter. All seriousness, The Matrix. Imagine a Matrix game. The green sells itself. It's coming back into prevalence. Theoretically, Resurrections could bring it back. That trailer, I got a lot of questions, but I'm excited.
Bro.
Keanu Reeves just voiced Johnny Silverhand. Get him to do the voice for the Matrix and say he's a character in it. I'm with you, man. That would
Get
sell
you-
like hotcakes.
I think it would sell well. It'd be a good franchise that's not quite superhero-y, so maybe not as expensive, but it could do something theoretically, right? There's something to be done there. But they missed the mark with Spider-Man being exclusive everywhere. Like, and I'm thinking about Avengers. I'm thinking about Insomniac. I'm thinking about the fact that,
Is Spider-Man in Avengers?
yeah, he's coming to Avengers exclusively. Are you being serious right now? I can't tell.
I'm joking that it still hasn't released. There's a date
Oh.
for it.
Dude. Oh, I don't even want.
No, honest, but real talk. Like, get Blade, get someone, get something.
Punisher.
Blade, Daredevil, Punisher.
Because I don't
get one of these
want to.
guys.
I don't want to be like one of those like, well, folks, listen. If Sony's working exclusively with Marvel now, it's time for Xbox to shake hands with WB and marry them. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Get shit that's gonna matter. Don't get Hulk because he's green. Get Blade because he's about to pop. Right, like that. Like he's coming. Get Shang-Chi. Like, dude,
Should have got Black
something.
Panther. Should have
Yes.
got Black Panther.
Yes. So
Um,
like, go out there, get those IP because you have in such a talented group of studios, and you're seeing that with, like Indiana Jones. I hope is a start for them. So that's what I want Microsoft to do. Make those deals, man.
I think they are, though. I think
I
they
hope.
are. I mean, Bethesda's a big buy. Like, we call it one thing, but there's a lot of things within it, and Indiana Jones is a good example of that, right?
Right.
But
Well, and they've
They
got
need
the 007 game coming too, right?
is that exclusive?
No,
Rumor
I don't.
has
Well, I don't think so yet, but it could be. But Bond is a big license.
It's a big license to us. I don't think it's big to the kiddos, which is what sells.
True.
It's not as
That
big
is
as
true.
it's not as big as Spider-Man for sure. Not
Well,
much. is.
nothing's going to be except for Batman, and Batman is like the second to Spider-Man, I think. But like, I don't want these characters, these franchises to be exclusive. I've said that many a time, and I stand by it. Like, I don't want that. But Microsoft should take that lesson and cut those deals. That's a great thing to keep in mind there, Joe. And I agree with you. Those third-party deals, like Outriders, like MLB The Show, do need to happen, but they need to keep happening until things are on even playing ground. Ains, what about you? Any lessons in your mind? One should learn.
for
One could learn
Xbox?
from the other. For either or, it doesn't matter. Any direction.
I would typically say that Xbox needs to learn from PlayStation and how they generate buzz around a platform, because PlayStation's always been so good at that. I think that when I look back now at today's showcase and I look back at the E3 that Xbox had, which we all agreed was phenomenal, I think they've done that now. I think they know how to build hype, because I think many of us agree that that E3 showcase was the best showcase they've ever had.
Absolutely.
And I would argue that that showcase is still better than what we saw at a PlayStation today.
Oh, absolutely, no question.
Like showcase to showcase.
Yes.
Not that we need to compare the two, of course, but I
here, folks.
but I completely agree with you guys that it's very smart of Sony to capitalize on the licensing for Spider-Man. They can obviously are continuing to do it, and they know how successful that has been for them, because they captured one of the other biggest superheroes in the world in Wolverine. So I completely agree with you guys, and that was only my point, Luke. It's like, you're right. Batman and Spider-Man are 1 and 2 in the world in terms of IP recognition among superheroes, right? And it's like, Batman is Warner Brothers. We know that AT&T and Warner Brothers and all these deals, but this is Microsoft, man. You gotta, at some point you got to knock down that door, and it's easy to sit here and say they need to go spend hundreds of millions on a license. But I think it's just, there's a lot of crossover happening with movies and games now, more than we've ever seen, and not from that cheesy used to be like it's a licensed game and it sucks type thing, but like actual quality, you know what I mean? Barring Avengers. So it just it just makes sense, especially to Joe's point, where you have these studios and you have all this talent. You got like 4,900 developers under Xbox Game Studios now. How are they not working on something that's like this? You know what I mean? Like a Batman or a Punisher or something that's really going to drive that. And they might be, maybe we don't know. Indiana Jones, to your point, is up there.
Indiana Jones and the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff show that they can work with Disney.
That's true.
They can work with Disney, and Marvel is Disney. You just have to wonder how much John Drake now he works for Disney. Yeah. Andrew Renee's husband, he worked at Sony.
Oh, yes.
Then he worked at maybe it was either Marvel or Disney, but either way, that built a connection bridge. It's Disney. Okay. They need somebody like that, or someone somehow building that bridge there to some properties, because Insomniac's going to have its own Marvel verse, and that's going to print cash. What are you doing? We know Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is not tied to Gotham Knights, but maybe it should be, and maybe someone should be buying it. I don't want a world where that happens, right? I want to be able to cross-play with Joe on whatever system he's on, and I'm Nightwing and he's Robin or Batgirl or Red Hood.
I don't have to play. Fuck you too.
100%.
You don't do superheroes, but I'll play Johnny Silverhand all day.
Oh, jeez. My name's AIDS. I have a yellow chair.
CD Projekt Red bought it for me.
Oh.
See what I got to deal with?
Flew it in from Poland.
You see this?
You started the show by yelling at me. I had a good intro.
No. I didn't start the show by yelling at you.
Perfect. It was such a good intro.
You did an intro plugging your own show.
The whole point of it is to have 3 people from 3 shows.
So are we going to talk about Halo yet?
I'm waiting.
No, I could care less about this conversation right now. But here's why.
He's done, Joe. We're going to go ahead and talk about Halo.
Talk about Halo.
He's muted. In fact, I'm just going to fucking remove him from the... There you go. All right. So now we can have a real conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you're on the bottom where you belong.
That is emasculating, and it is unfair. But no, before you talk about Halo...
Okay.
It doesn't feel like this is even remotely relevant at the moment. And before everybody loses it in the comments, look, you hate Halo. Shut up. Okay, I got a new Halo. Look at this little Master Chief chat. Look at this. This is a new one. It came in one of the collector's edition bundle things. It doesn't. It's just another wave of beta, right?
See, this is why you know he doesn't care about Halo. He's just.
But it's just another wave of betas.
If you lift your hands up, I'm sure we can see the shovel.
You gonna go sensitive on me here? It's just another. You're just sensitive. It's like it's Halo. It's like
I know you don't really care. That's why we kind of removed you from the show. But but Joe and I played like 150 matches of a beta on 2 maps against bots. That's how good it is.
I don't want to spend 30 minutes listening to people talk about the radar. That's really, let me put that in. That's what I don't want to hear. Because I see people losing their mind over beta stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's still,
but that's
they're figuring
Twitter.
it out.
That's Twitter.
Fair. All right. Me and my new Master Chief, we're going to listen to you guys talk about the beta.
So, Joe,
When's
beta.
Yeah, when's that coming out?
So, in all seriousness, September 24th.
Nice.
It's fully open if you're a Halo Insider this time.
Oh.
So literally anyone can play. There's no limit on how many players they're inviting. If you're a Halo Insider, you're able to play this time.
I am so excited about this beta. Can we just go ahead and talk about it? Because I'm in on this thing. I'm in the beta ring. I'm playing this thing.
I hate it now, right?
Now everyone understands. You know what I mean? Now everyone understands. All right, we're gonna keep playing. So it is. There was a data miner who came out and said that actually it kind of fits. It's like right in the middle. If I just lean this way, Joe, we're good. We can do the show now. This is awesome. Dude, Suddy, shout out to Suddy for creating this, who probably didn't even know this was perfect for our format. But this is how we're going to do the show from now on, guys. All right. So anyway, about this beta. Luke's probably losing his mind. Oh, my God. Okay. All right. For real. September 24th. Anyone who's a Halo Insider can play. It's going to be 4-on-4 matches and big team from I don't know if you guys saw this week, but a data miner who's been reliable in the past. Data mined Infinite and the files that came with it. And he said he's expecting over 20 maps at launch, both arena and big team. And he said in this flight, you can expect to see 2 big team maps as well. So we're 2 weeks away. Quite literally 2 weeks away from being able to play this again with big team, with 4-on-4 competitive matches, not just bots, and a lot more customization as well.
What's the date it starts one more time?
24th.
24th.
Got it. Cool.
I'm there, man. I can't wait.
How long is it run? I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to actually get the details while you guys are talking.
Sorry, Joe.
No, I just
think what we
wanted
need
to
to
say
focus on. Hillary's running a triathlon that weekend. She's ruining my Halo dreams. Working on.
Why does her running a triathlon have to do with you?
I gotta be there, man. I gotta go support her. Let her read a book while she runs this thing, and then finish line. Whoa! Let's go get ice cream.
Just dump her, you know.
By the way, you have to be registered as of September 13th. So 4 days from now as we're recording.
I think I'm registered because I got that fake Master Chief Collection Insider one. You know that one where they sent us all, it's time to join the flight, and it's for like season 8 of Master Chief Collection or something. And I was like, really? Really? I'm just trying to derail this conversation.
You've done a very good job.
Mission accomplished.
I apologize.
I hope you're happy about
to no one.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
Oh jeez, guys.
Okay, so Halo is coming out. We're excited about it, though the internet's telling us not to, and because it doesn't have co-op, we should I don't know, boycott it for 3 months or whatever. And PlayStation's dead. I think I got all the gist of what I needed to know about this week's episode.
What about Nickelodeon All-Stars, guys?
Oh my God, can we talk about it? They get it. They get what this game needs to be. Just a mountain of memes.
As long as you can play online, cool.
Yeah.
Because man, how good would Smash have been if it worked?
He's not fucking lying.
Supposedly, four-player online, just like Smash.
Dude, that game's out here to dethrone Smash. I'm saying it now.
Did you see SpongeBob doing the goofy bit over? Oh my God, man!
That was okay. That was all my students' warm-ups today. When they came in for homeroom, they had 3 tasks academically to do, but the 3rd task was draw a picture of SpongeBob, and it was the picture of the taunt from the video game. And one of the kids goes, "Mr. Lore, that's from the new All-Star Brawl game." I said, "Yes, it is. Why do you talk like
more
that?
push-ups for you, nerd."
You sound just like my friend Ains.
Oh my God!
Oh jeez.
Oh,
does he also have a red chair or yellow chair like me? Straight from Poland.
Just straight from Poland.
I don't know what's happening tonight. I'm too. Yeah, good. Go.
No, that's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
We're done.
That's it.
So
You-
yeah, I
are we-
think
are we
that's it.
done?
Is this the end
Are
of
we,
the
are we
show?
actually done? Ains quits.
Yeah.
Good job,
Sure.
Luke. Are you still running the show, or
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure you were done. You had a lot to say.
I wasn't even
earlier about
saying
Halo.
anything.
You were going to talk about Halo or something.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention it? So
Can the
people know.
title of this episode be PlayStation Showcase Reactions, Hard Break, Ains Quits Cast Co-op? Can we
I'll
get that
make
in?
it in
Yeah, there it is. That was literally on my board today. That's right. You want to know why your kid's not good at school? Me.
Me.
Not good at school.
Not good at the schools.
There you go.
Not
Me.
get a
Teaches
book of
English.
learnings.
They don't learn that way. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Cast Co-op. I don't usually do the outro, so I'm going to say follow me at Insipid Ghost.
Keep.
And you can listen to XCP on podcast stuff and seasongaming.com and Trophy Room. I don't want to plug anything. I've been told not to plug anything. Don't plug any other shows.
Keep passing that co-op. Oh god, it's happening. Oh god. Not on the outro. This continues to be the best show we make.
End the show.